Hello, this is the Lord's Legion yet again, and today we have another countdown. Now today we're going to talk about the best of the superhero costumes that appears in comic book films. Now a few rules are going to be in play. First of all, no villains, because that will be a list of its own for the future. And second of all, we'd have to see the actual costumes in motion first. So if there's any like promotional stuff but no footage of the actual costumes themselves, they will probably be not available onto this list. So without further ado, let's get to the top 10 superhero costumes in film history. Yes, I know, I've contradicted myself on that list, but this is the only exception. And quite frankly, can you really blame? I mean, look at that costume for Doctor Strange. The detail is so perfect, and I'm so glad that they went for pretty much the original design, and not using a modern interpretation of it. You can really sense a lot of the mystical elements to it. Cumberbatch really seems very perfectly for the role. It really looks very ancient and old, which very well blends into the character, and I can't wait to see the character on screen and see him in motion, which is why he is at the bottom of the list, because if we saw motion of him, he probably would have been a bit higher, if not maybe even top 5, because it has been so long since I've been completely wowed over a costume. I know it's predictable of me to say that Kick-Ass's costume does kick ass, but in hindsight Kick-Ass's costume really kicks ass, but all for the wrong reasons, but at the same time for the right reasons. What I mean by that is that it looks so lame and basic, but at the same time it really works because it's very relatable. A lot of people really want to be superheroes, which perfectly blends into his character, who is a superhero wannabe. He's really lame, he got a cheap spandex costume, which is pretty basic. And here you go, there's this superhero wannabe who wants to kick a lot of ass. Now, it's pretty great because it looks like it's been straight out of a comic book and onto the big screen, minus the mouth part at the end. And yeah, I pretty much really like the basic design, it's very relatable, and it's pretty funny. Words cannot even describe how much appreciation I have for this costume that Black Panther possesses for Civil War. For starters, it looks almost ripped right out of the comics and onto the big screen, like most of the costumes onto this list. But also, you can really see the detail to the character, you can see the metallic aspects from the vibranium, and not only that, it really looks like something that a tribe would make, and it's really amazing. I just love the costume, it looks great in motion, I can't wait to see Black Panther. And the only real issue I have really is that he doesn't have a cape. But however, I can see why he doesn't have that, because one, it wouldn't be practical for his character, and two, it'll probably confuse people with Batman, and he pretty much separates himself from Batman very well. In terms of practical costumes, Hellboy's is quite possibly the most impressive onto this list, and also probably the most impressive in terms of films in general. Now, for starters, his makeup usually takes around 3 hours, and can you really blame? I mean, his actual skin looks very good, he looks very muscly. I love the glove that he has, his horns are quite good, I love the jacket, and Ron Perlman just literally embodies the costume from the inside out. It's very impressive, I love it, and it really looks like it's been jumped right out of the comics and onto the big screen. I keep on saying this, but it's really the case when it comes to this one. This costume may be basic in terms of design, However, this is quite possibly one of the most iconic comic book costumes to appear onto this list, as well as in films in general. Now, I really love V's design from V for Vendetta for several reasons. His hat really adds to his time frame. The Guy Fawkes mask is beyond iconic, for better or for worse. And I also love its simplicity. He's just wearing all black, he's got a cape, he has several knives between his belt. It really adds to the mystery in the character, and he just looks like a total badass to watch. Like every scene he's in, Hugo even just literally just steals it, as well as his costume in general. It's brilliant in every way. Yeah, I literally shit on Batman v Superman in the past video, and I literally stand on what I say. However, I cannot deny that Ben Affleck's Batsuit looks incredible in every sense of the word. For starters, his cowl looks amazing. I love how it looks very comic book accurate, but at the same time it could be mobile, as we can see in the motion. I really love the grey outlines on the suit. It really looks accurate. It looks like something from Frank Miller, which was intended, and it looks amazing. And really, it's one of the, if not the greatest Batsuit we've ever got on film. And considering how we had Tim Burton and Christopher Nolan's Batsuits, that's saying quite a lot, and I'm really happy to say that this suit is phenomenal, despite how the film may possibly be a complete letdown. Say what you will about The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but we can all definitely agree on one thing. This costume is by far the best costume Spider-Man has ever had on any film. Wanna know why? Well, simply put, and let's follow me on this one, it's been jumped right out of the comics and onto the big screen. From the big eyes, like the Ultimates, to the perfect blending of the colours from the actual suit, and especially how the suit actually ripples as soon as he actually swings around in the city. It's so beautiful to watch, and it's the most Spider-Man as we ever had in a film to date. I am not gonna lie on this one, but I reckon Rorschach's costume is by far the most underappreciated costume onto this list. I mean, I can understand why in a way, because it's a rather basic design, but simplicity is better in this case, because he just simply has a fedora, a trench coat, and his iconic mask, which is kind of what V has. However, V's is more iconic, but with this one, it's a lot more comic book accurate, and not only that, it's very grounded and basic, and it just works. And it also really blends into Rorschach's personality well, and Il Jackie Harley really blends in with Rorschach and his personality. And most importantly, the costume really fits into him so well, and I really appreciate what Zack Snyder did for Rorschach's costume. The only word I can describe Deadpool's outfit into this film is sheer perfection. I mean, from the colours to the padding, and even the actual design of it's just so brilliant. But what boggles me most about is that it's coming from Fox, and they have a track record of making the least accurate costumes for superheroes, and somehow in an R-rated film they're able to give Deadpool his very accurate costume, and I literally love everything about it. Just, it looks, do I even have to say it again? It just looks exactly like the comics, and I really love it, especially more than what his first appearance was in Origins Wolverine, and let's not remember that. To be completely honest with you all, literally any of the Iron Man armors could take the #1 spot onto the countdown. But if I really had to pick one, I have to go with the Hulkbuster. For the simple reason that it literally embodies everything about comic book costumes. Literally, his whole shape and size is just sheer perfection, and I love the detail in it. It just looks so robotic, but at the same time it's not overdone like a Michael Bay Transformers film. And he literally looks so massive, it could literally take the Hulk on, and it looks so convincing while doing so. And I just love the palette and the detail. It's just so amazing, and I love every last thing about the Hulkbuster, which is why it's at number 1 onto this countdown. So with that being said, I would like to bring this countdown to a close. Thank you all for watching, have a good one, I hope you've watched the next video I have in store, and have a good one guys.